everyone, I'm Kealy and this is Voice of a Creative, and today I'm here to tell you all about the Iris tee and do a bit of a pattern review. So I've had quite a few new subscribers recently, so thank you so much if you're a new subscriber, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's lovely to see the kind of numbers growing and seeing that people are really appreciating my content. So the Iris tee is a new t-shirt by the pattern company Forget Me Not Patterns. And I had a chance recently to pattern test the t-shirt. Now, I don't get the opportunity to do pattern tests very often, but I was really drawn to this one because I am constantly in the search for the perfect t-shirt. I think I may have found it, which is incredible when you get the luck of a pattern test, and also this is a new pattern company to me as well. So it's really exciting to be working with Jo from Forget Me Not Patterns. She was really fantastic through the testing process and did take all of our feedback on board, which is fantastic, and she has produced a beautiful pattern, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. So why did I choose to make it? Obviously as part of the pattern test, but also because I'm searching for t-shirts. As you know, I like to try different t-shirts, but also work a lot in jersey. And so I thought that this was the perfect chance to try another t-shirt pattern and actually sew something that I know really well how to sew. The one thing that drew me to the pattern is the sleeve detail. So this pattern comes with 3 different sleeve options, a plain sleeve cap and plain sleeve and 3/4 length sleeve. Then so a short pleated version and then a longer pleated version as well. So if you get this pattern, you're getting your plain options as well, but you're also getting the pleated sleeve, which the short version is really super cute, and I think the longer version is super elegant and stylish. So you're getting a lot for your money when you get this pattern. So this t-shirt has a classic fit, so it's got a crew neckline and no darts at all. It's designed around a curvy B cup. My hips are quite a lot larger than my waist, and actually this fits me really well, and the shaping is really good for me. I also feel it fits on my bust really well, and I've been having a few problems with a bit of gaping and things here, which I haven't experienced on this pattern. I do get a few gathers under the kind of armpit area, but that is just natural with a dartless t-shirt. That's just one of those things that happen. The great thing about this pattern is it can be made in any type of jersey. So I've got viscose jersey and cotton jersey ones to show you today, but I have seen it in sweater knits and really slinky jerseys and heavier weight knits, and it works in all of them. It's just all according to what kind of look you're going for, which I think is really great. So I actually made 4 different versions. So I made one of each of the sleeve options. So I made the plain short sleeve, the pleated short sleeve, and then the 3/4 length pleated sleeve. So I'll show you those. And then I did a dress hack as well with the 3/4 length pleated sleeve. So I will show you those. I went for the size 38 in the end. So I looked at my body measurements. So my bust is 37.5, my high bust is 36, and my waist is between 31, 32, and then my hips, my full hip is 44 sometimes it's 43, just according. So when I looked at my body measurements, I was between the size 36 and 38 on the measurements here. So for my bust size, but then my waist size fitted closer with the 38. So I decided to just go for the 38, and I'm really pleased I did. I think this is the perfect fit for me. So that's great, and I think the proportions are right. This pattern takes about 1 meter of fabric. Obviously, if you're making the long sleeve option, it might be a little bit more. I just cut one out last night and I had 1.5 meters of fabric, and I've got like a large square left, so probably at about 0.5 meter left. So I think according to the width of your knit fabric, you might be able to get it out of 1 meter, which is really great as well. And if you wanted to do some colour blocking with the cuffs and neckband, then you could do that as well, which would also be really cool. So adjustments wise, I haven't actually made any. So initially the neckline was a little bit higher and I did adjust it, but in the new pattern the adjustment's already been made, so this is where the neckline would lie. And in the original pattern for the pattern test, I lengthened it, but those changes have already been applied to the final pattern, so that is a good length for me. Just bearing in mind, I'm kind of 5'4½", so if you are taller, you may well want to lengthen it a little bit more, but just make a test version and decide. But overall, I'm really pleased with all of the versions I've made. So in terms of the instructions, one thing you will need to remember is the seam allowance is a little different than what you may have seen on other patterns. It is the standard measurement for seams in the kind of fashion industry for knit garments, but the seam allowance is 6mm. So quite often on knit patterns you would have 1 centimetre, on some 1.5 centimetres, and this is a lot smaller. It is perfect for sewing on an overlocker. So you can just put it straight through, lining your fabric up with the kind of line in the blade, and you won't need to trim any off, which I think is really great to just be able to pop it through the overlocker. On the sewing machine, you might find it a little bit more tricky, but I tried it on my machine and it was absolutely fine. And you just need to remember that when I often snip in notches, don't snip them in because you're going to snip them in too far. So just cut your notches outwards. But that's quite an easy change to make, and actually probably a good change to make overall, just in your sewing practice as well, to cut the notches outwards. The instructions are really clear. It's just a standard way of making a t-shirt as I've experienced it. The only thing that you'll probably need to follow the instructions for in a little bit more detail is to put the sleeve together, but there's really clear diagrams and instructions for that, and it's a totally different way of looking at knits, and so that's been really exciting for me to see a different way of kind of putting the pleats together and things like that. So I would say in terms of sewing the pattern, it took me probably about an hour, hour and a half to cut and sew it up. Quite a simple t-shirt, and I am quite quick at sewing. I've made 4 versions already, and I already have 2 more cut out downstairs, and I am planning to cut a few more out. I'm going to go through and find some beautiful fabrics so I can add a few new t-shirts to my wardrobe. I've been wearing t-shirts a lot during lockdown with jeans, but also with jogging trousers, and actually I would really appreciate having some more t-shirts to wear just to jazz up my home wardrobe for the summer a little bit. So let me show you the different versions then. So this version here, move my hair out of the way, is made in a cotton jersey that I got from Mark Pickle's sewing studio. So you can see I've used the other way round with the stripe going round the neck for the neckband. And then I feel like the sleeve fits really nicely. I don't have any problems with the back. Sometimes I have problems fitting the back and it comes way further over, but this was really perfect. So the puff of the sleeve, you've got 3 little pleats and then they're sewn in, and then you add a little cuff on, which I think is a really cute detail, and it just adds that slight bit of puff to the sleeve, which is really cute. And in cotton jersey, this worked out really well. I feel like it fits me really nicely on the shoulder and around the bust. Now let me just stand up and show you. So this is the full t-shirt and its length. So it comes, my hip bone is there and it comes just below, is a 1.5 centimetre hem folded up, and I feel like it fits me nicely on the sides. And then at the back, there's a little bit of gaping, but as I would expect. And I feel like it fits me really nicely this way round as well. So really love the cute little detail of the puff. And it's really nice to experiment with a stripe, because obviously it changes the direction of the stripe when you add it into the cuff and things like that. So I think that's really cute to experiment with. And I will just get changed into the next version. So this is the next version. This is made in a viscose jersey that I got from Sherwood's Fabrics. So it's a Lady McElroy print, which I absolutely love. And this does make it a little bit more difficult to see the details because the print is a lot bolder. This one is the same length as the last one, but obviously this is a more drapey knit, so the fit's a little bit clingier, but I actually really love it. I feel really elegant in this t-shirt actually because of the sleeves. So with this one, I did hack the neckline a little bit. So it's the same around the back and the sides, but I lowered it by 1 inch at the front. So really easy hack to do, and then I just adjusted the neckband, but actually I think is really cute in this top. This is the 3/4 length sleeve option. Now the 3/4 length sleeve has a slightly different pleat, which I don't know if you can quite see in this fabric very well, but it's basically, it pleats there and it is a little V. So it's a slightly different pleat. But what we did think about is experimenting and having the pleats that are on the short sleeve version on the 3/4 length version as well. So I think that there's some easy experiments that you could do to swap things around. I really love this sleeve. I always love a 3/4 length sleeve anyway, which I totally didn't realise until I made my Blackwood cardigan recently from Helen's Closet. I need to make stuff in 3/4 lengths because it's so much easier than having to roll my sleeves up constantly. I really love the touch of detail that this adds, and it just shapes the sleeve slightly, gives it a little bit more fabric around, which I think is cute. And yeah, overall I really love this top too. So this one was just the neckline adjustment, but otherwise it's exactly as the standard pattern, and I can't wait to make more of these. I think they're going to be so good. And hopefully I can make some skirts or high-waisted trousers to wear with them for school, because I think it would look really nice kind of tucked into some trousers as well. So I will just change into the next version. So this is the plain sleeve version. So you can see that I kept white overlocker thread in my overlocker throughout all of these so that I could not have to change it. So I tried to use up some of my white based fabrics to do that. So this is a feather print cotton jersey that I got from Like So Amazing a couple of years ago when she first opened, and this is just the plain sleeve version. Now this is really great. I think that there is also a plain sleeve version included, and you can get it in the short length or the 3/4 length. I haven't made the 3/4 length yet, but I will be. So same length as the others. I think it fits really nicely. It doesn't bulge out too much like some cotton jersey t-shirt patterns do. Again, the neckline is standard for the pattern, and then this is the short sleeve version, so I feel like it's a really good length, and you just fold up and sew to get the sleeve there. So as I said, I really like the fit of this, so I feel like it's fitting me a lot better than I have had other t-shirts fit me on the shoulder. There's a tiny bit of wrinkling here, but that's just where there's not a bust start, but I'm absolutely fine with that. And I think as soon as I wash it a couple of times, those will go, as has been my experience with some of the other t-shirts. But I'm so pleased with the fit on this. It is a huge surprise for me to find a t-shirt that it essentially fits out of the packet. So don't lose hope. Your perfect t-shirt is out there, and it might be worth giving this one a go because I found it for me. So love this version too. It's a plain t-shirt. There's not much more to say, but it came together really well, and I think the piece, I think it fits really well as well. And I will just get changed into my last version. So this is my dress hack version. So it's in this beautiful viscose jersey that I got from Stoff and Stale. It's a lovely weight, really beautiful colour. And this is a dress hack. Now I have got my jeans underneath, so you might see some lumps of jeans here, but otherwise I think it's really beautiful. So I went for the 3/4 length pleated sleeve with this because I love that detail. And I know it's a bit strange to see me in a plain dress, and I think it's strange too, but I used to have a dress like this that I wore loads and loads, and I thought, oh, it's time to make it again. So in terms of hacking this, I cut the pattern at the waist seam. Now I know I could have just continued the whole pattern down because it's not got any pleats or anything, but I wanted to save fabric, and this does save fabric rather than having to cut the whole dress pieces. So I cut it here at the waist seam, so you can find where that is on the pattern. So I cut it there and then just drafted my skirt. I used my self-drafted pattern to add the skirt on. I did have to, when I put this together, it was a little baggier because obviously it's a t-shirt, it's supposed to hang a little bit. So I did have to sew it down the sides again. So just kind of bear that in mind, and that's why my self-drafted dress has darts here. But I am wondering whether I can kind of use my self-drafted dress and then pop these sleeves on. You might be able to see the detail of the sleeve a bit better. in the plain fabric. But just such a cute detail, and so easy to put together as well. So really pleased with this dress. It just comes down knee length. I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this. And I'm also wondering about making little jumpers that I can wear that kind of come to here. And so then the sleeve can puff out underneath, which I think is always a cute look as well. But overall, really pleased with this dress as well. So overall, I'm really pleased with all of the versions I've made. I am totally in love with this pattern and can't wait to use some of my more expensive knits to make some t-shirts, because I think it will really add something to my wardrobe. I know they're only t-shirts, but I do wear them a lot, and I'm so glad that I've found a great t-shirt pattern now. So I will link the pattern and the fabrics that I've used to make it down below. Really worth looking on Instagram, because all of the other pattern testers have uploaded their versions as well, and there are some really beautiful versions in a mix of loads of different fabrics, which is great to see. I'm going to experiment with making it in a knit fabric as well, to just see how that works out, as in like a knitted fabric, not just a stretch knit fabric. And hopefully I'll have a few more versions to show you in my next makes video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Goodbye.